Pues es un verdadero placer reencontrarnos con Martin Helmchen, el maravilloso pianista alemán que nos visitó por primera vez en el año 2021, en aquella ocasión en unas circunstancias diferentes. Hoy, esta mañana recordábamos que nos hemos visto por fin sin mascarillas, porque aquella vez las llevábamos todo el rato durante los conciertos. Bueno, tuvimos ocasión de grabar la fantástica versión que hizo del concierto número 2 de Brahms, y está disponible en nuestro canal de YouTube. Invitamos a todo el público que lo vea porque es maravillosa. Y inmediatamente después de terminar aquel concierto le pedimos que viniese de nuevo para tocar el primero de los dos conciertos del genio de Hamburgo. As you remember, as soon as you finish your concert, we asked you to come to play the first one, no? And coming here for the first concert, tocando el primero de los dos conciertos, para algunas personas lo han considerado como una especie de primera sinfonía de Brahms, pero al mismo tiempo la parte de piano es tan brutal, tan importante, ¿no? En relación con el segundo concierto, ¿cuáles crees que pueden ser las diferencias?
I understand, actually. Yes. Well, very different pieces, actually, these two big peaks, yeah, like two Mount Everests, actually, in the piano repertoire, and with a very different history also. The first one, as you said, kind of a first symphony and something he struggled with for a very long time. I think the piece next to the German Requiem that took him the longest to compose, so a big inner struggle. How can I come up with this enormous composition to finally make it one complete thing and find the medium of the piano concerto? He tried two pianos and everything, and the second, I think, kind of came much easier for him, and also it has this very light last movement and much more positive altogether mood. So the first one, I really think, is a cornerstone, milestone in his life, yeah, like a first peak and explosion of creativity and statement. One of these kind of confessional pieces, like now this is me, Johannes Brahms, presenting this first real historic masterwork.
Yeah, and how is it coming back to a piece like you have played many times, but maybe in the last time you have not played so often, maybe three or four times?
Yeah, this is the fantastic thing about being a pianist, that we have the best repertoire of so many composers who were pianists themselves, so they wrote for themselves, and all these peak works of musical history, both for piano solo and in chamber music, and for piano and orchestra. So as somebody who likes to explore a lot of different repertoire, to play a lot of different epochs like Baroque music on historic instruments and contemporary music and Russian music and all kind of different things, it's fascinating to come back after you've played many other works, and also many other works by Brahms, for instance. Fascinating to come back to a piece like the first piano concerto and see more of the influence of Baroque and Viennese classical composers and the Schumann tradition and so on, and also how it already opens so many doors to the future and is also very modern in some respect.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the tonality of the concert, it's minor, it's D minor in this case, in opposition to the second concert. And how is the color of the orchestra is very important here. You just finished the rehearsal. How was with the orchestra in this way?
We had a fantastic rehearsal, and every time you play these masterworks, they just grab you by the throat again. So it's always the same feeling that it draws you into a certain state of mind, and it does something to you. It's not only that the performer plays what he thinks he should do, but the piece has such an enormous inner life of itself, yeah, that it changes the player alike every time if you really try to get into it honestly and deeply. And I must say, it is one of the darkest pieces, not only by Brahms, but one of the most sinister, especially the first movement, of course, openings. It for sure has to do with the state of mind that Robert Schumann was in, his most important person next to Clara Schumann probably in his life as a mentor and friend, who already was, who had this suicide attempt at the time. And there are not so many pieces by Brahms that have a clear biographical link. So some of them have, of course, but this is probably the clearest, where this impression of of something collapsing, yeah, like the grandeur of Schumann and the mind and the sanity of this beloved friend went down, and that goes into this piece.
Thank you for those very good explanations, and also for having time for us to come here to play, because next week you will be going to Chicago to play Mozart with Vladimir Jurovsky.
More beautiful
great
music.
Orchestra also.
Yes.
So thank you so much
for
coming back.
Great joy to be here, really. So, thank you so much.
Y el programa, como además Martin comentaba que la relación de Schumann con Brahms, pues el programa se abrirá con otra especie de sinfonía, porque es una pequeña sinfonía de Schumann, en realidad no la llamo así, la llamo la obertura, scherzo y finale, y es una especie de sinfonía sin movimiento lento, una pieza que no se suele interpretar tanto y que creo que la pueden disfrutar mucho. Y una pieza que seguramente les sorprenderá, que es de Samy Moussa, una obra que se estrenó hace poquito por la Orquesta Filarmónica de Viena en la Sagrada Familia de Barcelona, en un programa en el que se interpretó una sinfonía de Bruckner, y delante esa pieza Elysium de Samy Moussa, un interesantísimo compositor canadiense del cual hace unos años tocamos una pieza para órgano y orquesta que tuvo mucho éxito y a quien quizá veamos la próxima temporada también. Ya lo saben, invitados con Martin Helmchen, el concierto número 1 de Brahms y la música de Samy Moussa y la obertura scherzo y finale de Robert Schumann.